board members are present via remote site, given the COVID virus, which we approved that meeting format last meeting. So if we could stand to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So again, all items will be roll call vote, and then I'll just name off the names so that'll give us a little more order as we go through that. So can you get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda by Lynn. Second by Jennifer.
Second by Jennifer. Motion by Lynn, second by Jennifer. All those in favor, Sunny?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Lynn?
Aye.
Jason? Aye. Kara?
Aye.
Shannon?
Aye.
The agenda is approved. Comments and requests from visitors. So we are again live streaming. We have a phone number 320-685-4901 if somebody would like to call on with the comments. So I'll give 30 seconds for that to happen if there's anyone out there that wants to comment.
Chair Wiesenberg, there's nobody in the audience as well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, with no calls or no one in the audience, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda by Lynn. Second by Kara.
Motion by Lynn, second by Kara. All those in favor? Sunny?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Kara?
Aye.
Shannon?
Aye.
Lynn?
Aye.
Jason? Aye. Consent agenda is approved. Item 6, discussion items. Future planning. Brad.
Yep, so on our agenda for tonight is the improvement reduction form in preparation for the 2021 school year. So despite what's going on with COVID-19 and trying to finish this school year, we still have to continue to plan for next year. And so what you see in front of you is some items for discussion to talk about for next year's planning. On the first on the agenda, or first on the improvement, is based off of our kindergarten numbers for next year. We're looking at adding a kindergarten section. We have more kindergartners who have done the registration roundup piece than we've had, and so we're anticipating that number will be higher, and so we'll need an extra kindergarten section for next year. Based off of the enrollment projections for next year at our secondary, we are looking at having to add 3 teachers in the science, social, and English realms, and also adding a special education teacher. Then if you look at the document, you see some additional adds there. One is to help us with our increasingly EL population, and we think we can split a position with Eden Valley Watkins. Item number 3, we're talking about adding some dollars to our substitute costs. We're in there pretty close with our teachers, but we do lag behind a little bit in our classified. And so we've added some dollars there to try to help with the sub pay. We also will be discussing the addition of a technology assistant as we move to the one-to-one initiative, and that will help us be prepared for our devices. And then lastly, we're looking at a paraprofessional support at Cold Spring Elementary to help with our whole structure on the behavior support at Cold Spring Elementary. Very similar to what Kara and I saw in Melrose. So that's an ad that we would be looking at there. Are there any questions on that improvement reduction form? Again, this is just discussion, and we plan to bring this back for board discussion or board action next the 27th.
So, can I ask a few quick questions? Well,
Yeah.
first, Jason, point of order. Can people mute their mics if they're not speaking? Just there's a lot of background noise. I think that's affecting their sound quality. So my questions are regarding the prioritized list. Are these kind of the top wants as we know them right now in order?
No, there's not an order there. Are you wanting for us to have this prioritized next time, Kara?
No. I'm just curious if this is like, because I know that, we have a more comprehensive list that we see from time to time, and so I'm just curious if this is the whittled down list that's kind of more realistic as we go through the budget cycle.
Beth, you can jump in here too, but this, from our administrative discussion this past week, this is kind of where we are as far as that kind of whittled down list.
That's all, thank you.
Thanks, Kara, for that question. Any other questions?
Okay, if there's no further discussion or questions on that at this point, we'll move on to discussion item B, the strategic planning update.
Yes. So I did meet with Bruce Miles on Friday afternoon via the telephone, and he has come up with an idea that he wants to share with you. We're really down to two options. One, do we try to do something virtual, or do we just wait until we can actually meet face to face? This would be groundbreaking. It would be something that's not been done before by Bruce, but he thinks he can work Zoom, and what he would like to do is to try to do a Zoom meeting with the district leadership team. So that would be all of our department heads, principals, and then just try to run through his normal process with that smaller team and see if it can be done virtually. And if there's success there, then we would go back out and build a calendar similar to what we had planned for the 27th, when we we're going to send our students home, and then go through our elementary and our high school, our secondary, and those types of employee groups, and try to go through that process as well. So I'm looking for direction from you, board, on do you want to try something virtually, or you just want to wait? Which is scary because we want this in place for beginning of next school year.
I think it's worth trying something virtually. I wonder, has there been any discussion on how that would maybe move forward through the community piece?
Yeah, so Bruce did talk about that. So if we can do a meeting with 20 of us, then he could open that up to about maybe potentially 50 people, and then so we would send out an invitation, and then if we had to have 2 or 3 different meetings where we could have anywhere from 100 to 200 people, then he would do those, he would schedule that. And people would sign up for the time, and he could send out the link to them, and so we would have to organize that piece. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I think that I agree with you. I think waiting could be really difficult for us to be able to continue to move forward. especially because we really have no idea how long this is gonna last.
Yep. So I will meet with Bruce tomorrow because I'm kind of hearing we should try it with this administrative team and see if that works, and then we can scale that out to our community.
What are you hearing from your admin team? Are they feeling like the Zoom is a good option, or have they not given feedback on what they think?
Well, Kara, we've done our emergency planning team meetings via Teams, and we've conducted all of our administrative meetings now on Teams. And Beth can jump in here. You know, it's not ideal, but it's not going poorly either.
I guess I'll jump in because I'm here. I would rather not do it on Zoom. I would rather just wait until the summer and we can meet in person and just sit far apart even if we need to, versus trying to do it on Zoom and a discussion.
This is Jennifer. I guess my concern, although waiting isn't the best option here, I am a little concerned about the integrity of the feedback, given this is a 5-year plan, of sort of the place everyone's mind is in right now. And I can't speak for everybody, but just wondering if the information and feedback that we give could be sort of tainted by the circumstances we find ourselves in right now.
I guess I would echo Jennifer's concerns. I think everybody would have a good attitude as far as doing the, making the best of the platform. And I don't doubt that they would have a lot of positivity, and trying to make the best of what we have. But I guess I'm concerned about the quality of work that would be coming out. Because, this is working for this meeting, but it's a little funky. And to have something as big as a strategic roadmap to create that in this platform under duress concerns me.
Yeah, because usually when you're doing something like that, you're doing brainstorming and other types of activities that I don't see that this platform works well for that type of meeting.
Shannon?
And just to be clear, the platform is one variable. My bigger concern is just the state of people's minds, given everyday concerns that parents and administrators and just we as humans are having right now.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the one thing that, Brett said that we could try it with the administrative team. It doesn't necessarily mean that we'd have to pursue it with the rest of the group. There's probably going to be some turnover, we know, at the high school, and we're going to be losing some knowledge and experience from there. I would hate to get that voice, out of that conversation, especially going forward. So, I definitely hear everything people are saying. Maybe just trial at the administrative level and get some feedback on that, and go from there. And maybe we don't pursue it much further beyond a trial.
I would agree with you just in the sense of giving it a shot. We don't know if it can work if we don't try, and we have a facilitator who is trained and very professional in the job that he does, and so I think that will provide some. It'll make for a better meeting and probably some increased participation, or the things that we might be dealing with in our meetings like this maybe won't be so difficult when you've got a very trained facilitator. I get it that he hasn't done it in that format before, but he knows how to facilitate meetings. I don't know. I think it's worth a shot.
Shannon?
Well, I guess I would say I agree with the fact that the state of mind that everybody's in is probably not the best. So if it is something you try with the administration team, I think we'd have to be very conscientious of whether or not we want to move forward until we can get into a more face-to-face. Right? I guess I would kind of agree with what everybody said on both sides. there's not a perfect situation. I don't think it hurts to try. I think, yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay. Well, here's what I'll do. I'll talk to Bruce tomorrow morning. He's hoping, well, it won't be till tomorrow afternoon. He's hoping to hear from us on what we're thinking. I'll share the thoughts from tonight, and we'll just I'll let you know based off of what our discussion if it's something that he thinks will be valuable, because we do want our best work for our students for the next 5 years. Okay?
Any other discussion? Okay, then moving on to the next item 7, action item, resolution to accept donation. Resolution is be it resolved by the school board, ISD 750 Rocori, as follows: the following donations be accepted with gratitude. Thank you to all the organizations for the individual donations. We appreciate your generosity and continued support. So listed on there's a donation from the Blattners, and let's see,
Donors choose.
Donors choose.
Jason, can I jump in for just a second?
Sure.
So the donation from the Blattners was for the Spartan Challenge. It's our annual weightlifting piece that we do for our students. That was received through by Jake Zahar. And then the Donors Choose is some monies that Mary Swanson went out and sought, and she used those monies for her STEM initiatives in our kindergarten and preschool.
Thank you to those groups. We really appreciate that. So, any further discussion? Do I need a second? Second by Sunny. All those in favor? Sunny?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Kara?
Aye.
Shannon? Shannon?
Aye.
Lynn?
Aye.
Jason? Aye. All right. Let's see. Item B, the proposed TIF district. Brad?
Yeah, so before you see the draft of the TIF plan that has come forward. As you can see, it's for the Cold Spring Brewery. A private company is going to be building a warehouse distribution center for them north up on 2, and they're asking for some TIF, similar to what Jill's Cafe did a year ago, where they asked for some TIF district help, and we will see some significant tax impact from that. It just won't be till 2023. So they get a little bit of help to get that economic piece going, and we see the benefit in a few years. I have spoken with both Bridget Murphy at the city and Jessica from Northline Securities, and this really is a good thing for the district to allow for. Again, Lynn, you might have a little bit more on that.
Yeah, I was going to say my business used TIF when I built my latest building, and it doesn't hurt the district to approve these because right now the land is empty, so we're not gaining any more taxes on it. So by approving it and going on with it, in 10 years we get more taxes. So, or I think it was 10 years, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's always, or almost always to our benefit to go with these.
Agreed. So I would recommend that you approve this.
Does this need to be a resolution or a motion?
I looked at the piece of that on the front page of that. It's just a plan-approved date, Jason. It doesn't call for a resolution.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the TIF District 6-1 for the city of Cold Spring.
I'll second it. Okay.
Second by Lynn. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Sunny?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Kara? Shannon?
Aye.
Lynn?
Aye.
Shannon?
Yeah, aye.
Jason? Aye. All right, motion passes. Administrative report, superintendent report from Brad.
Yep, so I'm going to update you on COVID-19. So if you haven't seen yet, the governor today extended the State of Emergency Act. That doesn't really affect right now schools, but just so you're aware of that. Our legislature right now is on adjournment. They will come back into session tomorrow, and I expect them, actually I know that they're going to take up House Bill 4415, and that's at 9:30. And that will give us direction on how we're going to continue paying our hourly employees. The Senate is going to take that up at about 2 o'clock. So they do have links, so there will be provided a stream from that. Just a few of the highlights from House File 4415. It would provide us guidance on requiring our districts to pay their hourly employees. It would ensure that schools receive their full funding. It will allow high school students to graduate on time. It will give us some flexibility in moving around some operating funds. It will allow student teachers to get full credit. It would extend teachers to meet requirements for licensure. And then most importantly is that there are some title dollars that are going to be attached to that, of which obviously I have reached out to Representative Emmer and asking him to make sure that if they pass this, that gives us districts the flexibility to use those title funds as a supplemental rather than a supplant. So what I mean by that is that I don't want to have to create programs in order to get dollars. We really just need to have dollars that can take care of the needs that we're incurring that we're not getting any revenue for. So that's what that is about. I did want you to know that we did do a parent survey after the first week. We got about 145 responses. We had a 4.08 rating on submission of work and activity. We did get a 3.81 overall experience rating, but we had that first week, we had lots of technology issues and some attendance things. So I think when we send that back out, I hope to see that be a better number for us. I did send out a student survey on Thursday, and that closes tomorrow for students. I did get a couple of student responses over the weekend, which was interesting. I did respond to them. One student is definitely not happy about not being in school. We are still continuing to serve 1,000 meals a day or more. Laptops, we have put out 310 laptops into the community, and that includes both staff and students. And we have 71 hotspots that have now been distributed out into the community. One other item that has come up is, and I think we need to make sure we have a good plan for, is let's just say that the stay-at-home orders end and we can come back to school on May 5th. I'm concerned that we might have a few parents that are just going to say, I don't feel comfortable with my students coming back to school. And so we need to have a plan in place for students who might not want to return out of fear, and also just in case the stay-at-home and this distance learning goes all the way till June. So we're going to be talking about that in our emergency planning team meeting, and making sure that all of those scenarios covered. Any other questions from the board on our COVID-19 update? I do have a couple of just other details. Should we be allowed back to school and face-to-face? I've talked to Joel and Sue Phillips, and they would still want to do maybe a smaller prom, maybe just a dance. We are still working and talking about our coaches for this season. And of course, graduation is huge, and what we can do with that. So those are 3 details that mean a lot to our students that I want to make sure that we have covered here in the next couple of weeks. Any other questions on COVID-19 and the effects on Rocori schools and our students?
Do we have any data on attendance?
I can't remember if I let you in on this last week or not, but actually last Tuesday and Wednesday, we had really good participation. In fact, we had better attendance on Tuesday and Wednesday last week than we do on a typical day. So the number of students who checked in were better than what we've had on typical days. So I don't have the exact data, but I can get that for you, Kara.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Brad? Okay, then moving on. Item B, I wanted to just make everyone aware that I will be directing Holly Gazette to send out superintendent evaluation questionnaires to all of Brad's direct reports. So hoping to get that information back within the next couple weeks, and then compile that, and then we can do our own board questionnaire too, and then we will be doing his review sometime in June. So, any questions on that? Okay. Upcoming events and activities. I think either they're doing virtual meetings or the meetings are being canceled. I know at the Ben Stearns meeting, they were doing virtually this coming Wednesday. And then we're continuing on with the virtual school board meetings in 2 weeks. So, and then we'll see where we're at then. Any other items? Otherwise, I call the meeting over, or adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, board.
Thank